Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good evening to all of you. Okay, so for today, I would like to the topic for today is extrusion molding for plastic processing. So extrusion, what is extrusion? Extrusion means forcing a molten polymer by means of pressure through a shaped die. So the process is exactly just same like the injection molding, but it use extrude, which means the extrude the polymer into the shaped die. So most common manufacturing of plastic resin combine pigments, additive and resin, high heat, high pressure into the molten mixture. So from the pellet, from the pigment, additive, dia masuk melalui hopper dan dia menggunakan high pressure into the molten mixture. So it create warm plastic for possible further finishing operation such as pelletizing, calendering or molding. So extrusion dia akan menghasilkan ini dia punya finishing product, pelletize, calendering or molding. So the basic machine known as the extruder. So machine dia dipanggil extruder machine. Consists of a screw which rotate inside a cylindrical barrel. Sama juga macam injection molding. Dia ada screw dalam barrel. So the extrusion molding is capable to manufacture continuous products. The extruder consists basically of hopper, barrel and screw. So ini dia punya basic extruder machine yang dia ada. Dia ada hopper, barrel ni yang lapisan luar yang cover screw. So of course ada screw untuk extrude. So this is the example or schematic diagram of extruder machine. We have a hopper. This is the example, which is plastic pellet. This is the heater outside of the barrel. This is the polymer melt. So dekat sini kamu masukkan material ataupun polymer plastik kamu. Masukkan kat sini, dia ada heat, dia panaskan kamu punya plastic pellet into the polymer melt. So from the plastic pellet dia menjadikan molten melt. Ini polymer melt. So inside this is the screw. Outside of the screw is the barrel, and outside of the barrel is the heater. So dia ada 3 section. First section is feed section, iaitu tempat kamu masukkan feeding. Tempat kamu masukkan material kamu. And the second section is compression section, and the third section is metering section. So this is the feed section. Dia masukkan material plastik pellet masuk dalam ni, kemudian dia pusing, rotation. Dia rotate, skru ni akan rotate, dia akan tolak. Masa melalui heater, dia akan meltkan dia punya pellet. And then the last part is metering. So into the shape die. So this is the die here. So and then before die, it has breaker plate. Maksudnya dia makan masuk ke sini sikit sini, baru dia combine balik dan akan dapatkan yang ni. Dia ikut die. Macam injection molding, dia akan ikut mold. Dia terus ada mold. Kira kamu inject kat sini, dia terus masuk dalam mold. Dia ikut acuan dalam mold ni. Kalau bentuknya ni. Tapi untuk extrusion, kamu menggunakan die. Itu beza dia, beza antara extruder dengan injection molding. So component and features of single screw extruder for thermoplastic and elastomer. So this is the schematic dan juga dia punya component. Okay, this is the real machine. So basically ni dekat company lah yang besar, bukannya lab scale lah. Kalau lab scale nanti kita akan masuk ke lab di FTKM 5 untuk buat run. the plastic extrusion. So this is the extrusion machine in the, of course not in the lab, in the factory. So if you can see, this is the hopper, feed section, second section dan juga the last section for the metering. So this is the die, as you can see the die, and it's coming out. This is the die, same like here. Okay, this is the hopper machine. So dekat luar ni yang heater tu dekat atas ni. Screw dalam ni dia ada barrel. Okay. So operation principle of extrusion, it have 5 stage for the operation principle. The first one is the extruder. The extruder plasticated and forced out through the die. Extrude. Dia ni dia tolak dari awal sampai ujung tu. Yang tu dia plasticized and forced through the die. So the die, the hot molten of soft plastic take shape. Die ni yang ni kamu punya die. Bentuk macam size diameter. Dia bukan mold. Kalau mold boleh berbagai-bagai bentuk. Kalau die macam ni je. Okey, bentuk bulat, petak, macam itulah. Itulah die. So forming, the hot material is further shape. Post forming, the material is cut or further shape. And then we go to the secondary process. Basically, extrusion is the first step of mixing process. And then we take the pellet into the injection molding. Sebab tu dia ada dia punya secondary process. So extrusion base process, extrusion, shaping through die, and then go to final product, which is pipe or profile. Secondary operation, fiber spinning, cast film, blown film, preform for other molding process, blow molding, thermoforming, dan juga compression molding. Extrusion is more like to mixing punya process. And then the extrusion process, we go to the first section, which is feed section. So in the feed section, it compact to a solid mass. It's preheat. The second section is compression or plastification section. So in the section, which is the melting progresses, degassing occur. And then the third section is metering section. So in this section, it is the internal heating from viscous flow. Its pressure is developed to extrude the material through the die. Dekat metering section, kalau yang tengok tadi, feed section, compression, plasticized section. Plasticized section ni dia berubah daripada bentuk solid kepada dia melt into the molten polymer plastic. And then the last part is metering section. Dekat sini dia menggunakan pressure yang agak tinggi untuk tolak skru keluar ke die sini. Sebab tu dia pressure is developed to extrude the material through the die. Okay, this is the section inside the extruder, feed zone. This is the feed zone, plasticization. Kalau tengok kat sini, yang hitam ni bentuk pellet. Yang bentuk pellet ni bila dia masuk kat sini dia dah melt. Dia melt. Okey, sini dah terus tak ada. Dia dah terus jadi molten plastic. So this is the metering, which is the, kalau tengok skru kat sini pun tengok makin besar dekat ujung, kat penghujung. Kalau kecil kat sini dia akan flow back. Sebab tu dia dekat sini dia dah tutup keseluruhan barrel tu. Ya. So this is the screw extruder. Function of screw: convey, mix, plasticating or melting, metering, dan juga venting. So ini function of screw, either one screw or two screw, single screw or twin screw. So type of screw kita ada untuk extrusion dia ada dua jenis, single screw extruder dan juga twin screw extruder. Macam dekat yang kita ada dalam lab, kita ada twin screw extruder. So nanti kita akan guna twin screw extruder untuk lab. So this is the single screw extruder. Single means one. Maksudnya dia hanya menggunakan satu skru sahaja untuk extrude. So this is the schematic diagram. Sama juga hopper, screw, then into the shaping process, die. So this is the feed section, solid conveying, melting which is plasticicating, melt pumping, the pump dia menggunakan pressure untuk menolak. This is the metering section. So this is the basic machine for single screw extruder. Profile extrusion, a direct manufacture of product from the extruder. The products are continuous length whose cross-sectional profile is determined by die shape. Okay, tengok kat sini dia extrude. This is the secondary punya proses. Dia keluar die bentuk macam ni je. Tapi ini thermoforming, dia jadikan shaping. Bila dia shape balik, dia secondary proses. Dia jadikan dalam bentuk thin film, sheet, tubing and pipe. So ada juga dia boleh menghasilkan tubing and pipe ni terus ikut atas die. Tapi untuk hasilkan sheet and film dia tak boleh lah. Sebab tu yang tadi kalau tengok balik dia punya application dia tu. So this is the motor, turning screw, barrel, molten plastic. Sini sini feed section, second section and third section. This is the die. Okay, this is the single screw punya extruder machine. So single screw extruder SSE depend on drag flow, which is viscosity and frictional properties for melt, conveying and output of polymer. Sama juga dalam injection molding pun apa dia yang penting dia adalah viscosity dan juga frictional. Frictional ni geseran. So therefore it is not suitable for extruding heat sensitive polymer. Ya. Dia tak sesuai untuk extrude heat sensitive. Maksudnya kalau kena panas dia tercayak. Kena panas yang tu sometimes the heat polymer ni banyak jenis polimer. Ada yang heat sensitive, dia okey bila kena ni. Macam thermoplastik. Okey, thermoplastik thermoset dia heat sensitive. Bila dia kena panas dia terus mengeras. So dia tak sesuai. So material that exhibit strong tendency to degrade and material that slip excessively on the barrel surface but stick to the screw. Contoh maksudnya setengah material kalau kita pakai juga material tu macam dia cepat mengeras. So dia akan boleh merosakkan mesin. Dia melekat. Stick to the screw. Exhibit strong tendency to degrade. Maksudnya bila dia kena panas sikit pun dia dah terus lebur, hancur. Dia degrade. Maksudnya dia decompose lah. Tak ada. Dia tak nampak. Dia tak melt macam tu je. Macam contoh macam polystyrene. Suhu terlalu rendah. So dia tak sesuai. So this is because the viscous heat generate within the polymer can cause excessive heating and may thermally degrade the polymer. Ni maksudnya kalau dia terlalu dia sensitif sangat, dia kena panas sikit pun dia dah lebur, hancur, degrade, dia tak sesuai digunakan. Sebabnya dia boleh menghilangkan terus polimer tersebut. So a different melt conveying mechanism is needed for this type of material. So kalau nak guna juga boleh, tapi melt conveying tu macam dekat sini ada banyak heater kan. Dekat sini dia kena pakai yang berbeza. So it is for this reason that the twin screw extruder are developed. So untuk benda ni, masalah ini, untuk masalah yang polymer heat sensitive ni, dia buat satu benda yang baru, iaitu twin screw extruder. So twin screw extruder do not depend on friction or drag flow for output, as we shall see later. So this is the twin screw extruder. Dia pakai 2 skru. Macam yang tadi tengok pakai 1 skru saja. Ini ya. Ini yang kita ada dekat lab. So a core rotating twin screw extruder. Sama juga dia ada solid conveying, melting punya section dan juga melt pumping punya section. Yang membezakan dia 1 dengan 2. Okay, twin screw extruder dia core rotating, counter rotating. Dekat sini dia ada intermeshing dan juga non intermeshing. Maksudnya dia follow ataupun dia berlawan arah, ataupun non intermesh. Maksudnya dia follow macam ni. Tengok arrow ni. Kalau dia intermesh, maksudnya dia tak belaga. Dia main ke sini, dia lawan lah. Ataupun dia follow ke sini. Tu co-rotating. Kalau counter rotating, maksudnya dia sentiasa berlawanan. Macam tu. Ya. So both screw are parallel and side by side inside the barrel. Dia duduk sebelah penyebelah, bukannya duduk capang jauh macam tu lah. So this extruder are suitable for extrusion of difficult to extrude polymer and for material that require great mixing. Maksudnya sometimes dia viscous dia terlalu tinggi. Polymer tu dia terlalu high viscosity. Dia kelikatan dia tinggi. So kalau guna single dia susah. Sebab tu dia pakai, bila pakai twin screw, dia kuat. Dia lagi kuat untuk tarik benda tu lah. Kalau even high viscosity punya material, dia boleh produce. So the main application of twin screw extruder is profile extrusion of UPVC for windows frame, gutter and pipe production. Maksudnya yang benda yang high viscous punya application, yang memerlukan high viscosity. Dia tak macam hollow tube. Okay, yang tu dia boleh pakai single. Tapi untuk tubing, piping ataupun tubing punya yang solid, so dia lagi sesuai pakai twin screw extruder. So PVC is a polymer known for its thermal instability and unusual frictional properties. Ini ya, polyvinyl carbonate. So it require elaborate heat stabilizing and lubricating system as additive before it can be processed. So bila ditambah additive, dia akan jadi berat. Bila jadi berat, single screw dah tak sesuai digunakan. So as such, PVC is a difficult polymer to run in a single screw extruder. So kalau orang tanya, okay, kalau kata kamu ada material PVC, so what kind of extruder that you should be used? So you can say, if the material have a high viscosity, you can use twin screw extruder. Why? Okay, list down. Why dia kamu senang nak menggunakan? Apa beza single screw dengan twin screw? So dia ada kategori yang saya tunjuk tadi, co-rotating dan juga counter rotating, non intermesh dan juga intermesh. So twin screw extruder come in a variety of arrangement and configuration. A systematic classification of twin screw configuration is as follow. Co-rotating, both screw rotate in the same direction. Ini, the same direction. Maksudnya kalau dia ke sini sahaja. Okay. Kalau counter rotating, dia opposite direction. Dia berlawanan macam ni tadi. Okay. Okay, within this type, the screw can be further classified as intermeshing and non-intermeshing. Ya, yang saya tunjuk tadi, intermesh dengan non-intermesh. So intermesh screw can be further divided as fully intermeshing, conjugated screw and partially intermeshing non-conjugated screw. Fully intermesh kita panggil dia conjugated screw, dan juga satu lagi partially, maksudnya dia separuh, non-conjugated screw. So first, intermeshing means that flux on one screw move inside the channel of the other screw. Ini yang dia intermesh. Dia one screw move ke inside the channel of the other screw. Yang ni screw yang satu lagi. So dia jalan macam ni. Macam tu. So fully intermesh, yang ni intermesh saja. Kalau fully intermesh or conjugated screw means that the meshing flights fully occupy or fit the channel in the meshing area. They break up the continuous channel into segregated segment. Ini yang untuk fully intermesh. And then partially intermesh, separuh sahaja, or non-conjugated screw means that the screw flight are loose fit into one another. Maksudnya dia tak betul-betul fit lah, yang macam fully intermesh ni. Kalau fully intermesh dia memang dia fit terus, rapat terus. Dia itu yang dia panggil tadi, bila dia kena macam tu dia sering berlawanan. So the partially occupy the channel so that there is ample space for the material between the screw flight. Maksudnya ni dengan abaikan yang ni, dia tak tahu keluar siapa. Okay, dan satu lagi macam ni, dia ada ruang sikit kat sini, dia tak fully fit lah. Okay, then the last one is non-intermeshing. Non-intermeshing is screw basically contain two single screw that rotate side by side in a barrel. Okay, we continue. This is the co-rotating screw. You can see here, dia follow into the outside of the screw. Dia punya rotation dia. This is the counter rotating screw. Tengok, kalau tengok ini dia follow saja. Kalau ini dia berselang-seli. Selang-seli, dia punya arah dia berlainan. Ini counter rotating screw. Satu ke arah sini, satu ke arah sini. So this is the intermeshing zone in the twin screw. Dekat sini. Ini yang dia fit ataupun partially non-conjugated tadi. So the principle of conjugation in twin screw extruder are as shown below. Okay, tengok ini. Conjugated dia fit, which mean non-conjugated dia tak betul-betul fit. Some patches around each screw. Yang ni screw A, screw B. Ya, boleh nampak beza apa itu conjugated dan non-conjugated. Partially dan juga fully intermesh. So this is the mechanism of counter rotating fully intermesh, which is conjugated screw. So this is the flight. This is the melting polymer. This is the flight. This is the melt. So material bank daripada sini dia counter the mix, dia jadi fully mix sebab dia punya tengah tu dia belaga terus, dia fully fit. So no passage at all for the polymer to move around both screw, but the material is forced to the middle where the two screw meet to form a material bank, and then the polymer is enclosed in C shape. Sini ya, C shape ni, ataupun sini dipanggil juga C shape. Chamber around each screw which lead to positive pumping or forward movement but restrict mixing process. Material has nowhere else to go and so it is forced to move gradually forward towards the die end. Maksudnya dia tak boleh nak flow back balik pun, sebabnya dia fully fit, dia rapat terus. So bila dia tolak macam tu je, dia terus sampai ke ujung. So this is the mechanism of co-rotating fully intermeshed with twin screw extruder. Ini co-rotating Maksudnya satu melt and satu lagi adalah flight. Macam yang tadi dia C, dia tak O. Macam ni dia O. Untuk co-rotating. Yang ni tadi adalah counter rotating. Okay. Untuk co-rotating punya mechanism, no passage at all for the material to move around each screw, but there is a small difficult path for a material to move around both screw sebab dia bergerak seiring. Sometimes bila dia ada sangkut sikit, dia jadi susah. So sebab tu dia kata there is a small difficult. Sama juga kalau kamu kayuh macam tu lah. Tengok balik, kalau tengok dekat skru, kalau dia bergerak sekali macam tu, dia akan ada kadang-kadang dia tergelecek jatuh macam tu. Gear punya position. So this configuration allow the material to circulate between the screw in figure 8 pass. Dalam figure macam ni. Bila? Sebab dia follow je yang sama. So the first screw carries the material up to a point where its flight intermesh with flight of the second screw. So at this melting point, there are equal but opposing velocity gradient. Thus, whether the screw A carries will taken over by screw B, the material cannot pass through the gap between screw due to the opposing velocity. So the material is transferred from screw to screw in figure 8 pattern, reduce positive pumping efficiency but give effective mixing. Dia bagi efektif punya mixing. Dia even though dia mengurangkan positive pumping, sebabnya pumping efficiency tu, kamu punya pressure tu. So it is good for compounding device but not well suited for profile extrusion. Okay, next. Okay. This is the mechanism of non-intermeshing twin screw extruder. Maksudnya dia non-conjugated. Screw 1 dengan screw 2 dia ada gap yang tadi. Kalau tengok dia punya schematic diagramnya tadi, dia ada gap between screw 1 dengan screw 2. So the non-intermeshing twin screw consists of essentially two identical single screw side by side and work in a similar manner to single screw extruder. So, and then this is the extrusion punya produk. Kalau tengok ini semua depend dekat dia punya die. Tengok die boleh buat apa. Dia tak in the complex shape, dia tak boleh nak buat. So, this is the product: tubing, pipe, hose, window and door molding, sheet and film, continuous filament as we saw in module 3A, coated electrical wire and cable. So advantage of extrusion, it has low cost tooling and short lead times, low cost part, use of multiple material in a variety of durometers, reinforcement via fiber wrapping, and also the color matching. So they have two main problem in extrusion. First is die swell. Maksudnya die tu sendiri dia swell, dia mengembang. Sebabnya okey, kalau tengok ini adalah die. Okey, bila dia terlalu banyak kali dah dia lalu sama juga dia akan house, dia akan jadi wear. Macam tu lah, lebih kurang macam tu lah. So untuk ini die swell. When polymer exists, the die of the extruder it will swell. This action is referred to as die swell. Exit flow is larger than die opening. Dekat hujung dekat yang nak masuk tu, exit flow. Maksudnya okey okey, ni kamu punya die lah. Ni daripada mesin lah. Okey, yang ni ini yang dipanggil exit flow. This is the die opening. Sorry. Okay. Okay, ni die kamu. Ni kat dalam ni. Die ni. Okay. Kat sini lah. Bila die polimer tu masuk kat sini. And then ini exit flow ni kat sini. Dia jadi lagi kembang. Dia jadi kembang. Swell. Dia mengembang. Macam tu. Dia punya compared to the die opening. Contoh masuk kat sini 0.5 mm. Contoh andai katalah mm. Yang keluar kat sini 0.8 mm. So yang mana yang tepat? 0.8 atau 0.5? Bila pergi dekat QC check, okay, kita dah dapat size yang diameter yang besar. So dia terpaksa reject. Bila reject, dia kan kena continue balik, start balik dari awal. So this is the main problem in the wire punya wire drawing lah, boleh kata wire drawing punya problem. Sama juga any application yang menggunakan die di hujung, dia akan jadi haus, dia akan jadi kembang. Asalnya 0.5, contoh lah, asal 0.5, at the end after repeatedly use, dia akan jadi kembang, dia kena tukar. So macam mana nak tahu dia dah kembang? At the end of the product, kita kena check dia punya diameter. Macam tempat saya kerja dulu, dia buat wire rod, wire yang dalam spring katil. So dia nak dalam tebal spring tu dalam around 3 macam tu lah, 3 mm. So lepas 2-3 batch, dia punya diameter semakin lama semakin besar, dan akhirnya kena, sebelum di reject, kita tukar siap-siap. Kita kena tukar die tu siap. Macam tu lah. Tu yang dipanggil die swell. Okay, die swell occur because the sudden release of pressure cause the polymer chain to relax. So this is the antara die swell, die orifice, extruded profile. Dia nak macam ni. Ni dia punya profile. Tapi yang keluarnya macam ni. Ini yang dikatakan die swell. Okay, melt. The second one is melt fracture. So melt fracture is melt flow instability through a die during plastic molding, leading to helicular ripple surface irregularities on the finished product. They have two driving force, slip and stick, and skin rupture. So untuk slip and stick, melt stick to wall, then breaks free, causing pulsation in pressure. And the second one is skin rupture. Die swell, cause pressure build up in a melt at axis. Then with sudden cooling, the surface break. Lagi kita tengok. Okay, ini yang dipanggil melt fracture. Ini slip and stick. Maksudnya ini yang patut kamu dapat, tapi tiba-tiba kamu dapat macam ni. Tengok ni, dia punya bentuk dah lari. Ni, bentuk dia dah lari. Okey, kalau untuk skin rupture, dia tak smooth lah. Kamu punya permukaan dia tu tak smooth. Dia jadi berombak macam tu. Itu yang dipanggil melt fracture. Okay. And then the analysis of flow. As the screw rotates inside the barrel, the movement of the plastic along the screw depend on whether or not it adheres to the screw and the barrel. There are two extremes. Case 1, the material stick to the screw only. So kita tengok dekat case yang pertama. First case, the material stick to the screw only. Material stick dekat dia punya screw only, and therefore material plus screw rotate as one solid cylinder inside the barrel. So this gives zero output and clearly undesirable. Maksudnya dia lekat dekat situ. Maksudnya dia tak tolak pun. Dia lekat kat situ, dia macam mana nak keluar sebab dia dah lekat dekat screw. Okay, faham case yang pertama tu? Okay, untuk the second case is the material slip on the screw and has a high resistance to rotation inside the barrel. This result in a purely axial movement of the melt and is the ideal situation. So, case yang nombor 2 ni yang maksudnya dia bagi result yang the best lah. Maksudnya dia duduk kat depan. Bila dia masukkan tu, dia cantik je dia punya flow. Dia material dia berjalan atas skru tu. Dia tak melekat dekat skru. Itu maksud case yang kedua. So this is the drag flow. In practice, the melt conveying is somewhere in between these two extremes because there is friction with both screw and barrel. So the material stick both to the screw and also to the barrel. The interaction of the rotating screw and stationary barrel leads to the principal transport mechanism, which is, we call it drag flow. So this is literally dragging along of the melt by the screw as the result of frictional force. It constitutes the output component of the extruder. So this is the formula to calculate the drag flow of the melt. So the drag flow is depend only on the geometry of the metering section and the screw speed as is n is given as. Okay, kalau tengok dekat sini, yang penting dia adalah dekat geometry of metering section. Dekat penghujung tu yang baru depend dekat situ. Okay. This is thus we can see that drag flow depend on screw diameter. Firstly, screw diameter, screw speed, this is n, screw speed, dan juga channel depth in metering section. Kat sini, dia punya kedalaman dekat metering section. This is the helix angle of the screw rotation. This is for the helix angle. And then the second one is pressure flow. Whenever a die or additional component that suppress flow, example breaker plate, is attached to the extruder, the pressure created by this component is called a back pressure. Acts against the drag force to create a pressure flow. Maksudnya dia letak dekat dia nak flow, dia nak suppress the flow. So dia tambah breaker plate. Dengar, untuk ni dia tambah breaker plate attached to the extruder. So the pressure, dia tambahkan lagi pressure untuk tolak dan dia nak macam mana nak kata, dia ada back pressure lah yang menolak dia, yang menolak against the drag force ni. Okay, so pressure flow is caused by the pressure gradient that build up along the extruder screw. This is there is high pressure at the output end, low at the feed, and this pressure gradient oppose the drag flow. Dia oppose, dia berlawanan lah, yang ni lah, against. So it is important to understand that there is no actual flow resulting from the pressure only and opposition. Maksudnya dia tak ada satu hasil daripada pressure only. So although pressure flow reduce the pumping rate, it enhance the degree of mixing within the screw channel due to a local increase in the shear stress, dispersive mixing, and the second one is increase in a total shear strain, which is distributing mixing. So the pressure flow is given as QP equals to pi dH3 sama juga D, which is screw dimension, H dia punya ketinggian, depth of channel depth. So screw dimension, the negative sign indicates flow away from the die head towards the feed section. Thus we see that pressure flow depend on QP is the pressure flow. Kalau yang tengok tadi drag flow, which is the QD, drag flow, QP pressure. So screw dimension, D delta and H with dependence on channel depth. Maksudnya dia still depend on, sama juga, ketinggian dekat metering punya section. Okay, tengok sini. Pressure gradient in metering section, length of the metering section, dan juga dia punya of course the viscosity, sebab viscosity main peranan bila pressure tinggi ataupun rendah. Then the third one is leakage flow. This is the final component in the flow pattern is the leakage flow. So the clearance between the screw flight and the barrel allow the material to leak back along the screw and effectively reduce output. The clearance, tengok sini So clearance ni maksudnya bukan cuci. Tolerance dia macam clearance berapa yang clear tu, yang tinggal tu. So dia tengok between screw flight and the barrel allow the material to leak back along the screw. Okay, kita ambil contoh. Okay, ini adalah barrel, ini adalah kamu punya screw. Okay, okay. Kat sini ni, yang ni yang dipanggil clearance ni. Berapa yang tinggal? Untuk sebab apa saya kata tadi, kalau dia sama aja macam ni, dia kemungkinan untuk back tu balik, molten tu akan patah balik ke belakang adalah tinggi. So sebab tu dia nak tengok material leak back along the screw and effectively reduce output. Bila dia patah balik ke belakang, dia tak menerusi die, of course lah, dia mengurangkan kamu punya output. So this is the leakage flow. So this is also a pressure driven flow, and it also opposes the drag flow. However, leak flow is small compared with drag flow and pressure flow and can be neglected. It has practical significance in badly worn screw where clearance between screw and barrel become large. So the total flow or total output Q of the extruder is therefore drag flow plus pressure flow plus leakage flow. Q equals to QD plus QP. So ini masuk balik dalam rumus QD, drag flow dan juga pressure flow QP. So for the given extruder, L, DH and delta are all fixed, and we can simplify the total output as, so this is the total output where where alpha and beta, this is the alpha and this is the beta. A function of the metering section, P is the pressure in the metering section, and gamma is the viscosity in the metering section. Therefore, the practical variable for operating the extruder are screw speed, which is N. Sama juga yang tadi pun, this is the screw speed. Head pressure, P, head pressure, and also melt viscosity. Okay, that's all for today class, which is the topic 5. And then if you have any question regarding this topic, feel free to ask. Okay, so and then okay, see you tomorrow. Assalamualaikum and good evening. Terima kasih, thank you.